Hello, 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 hello. I am so happy to be here. It's Tuesday, so we know it's talk time with Angela. And today's topic is going to be really, really good. And so we're going to talk about the top 10 qualities decision makers consider when choosing a project manager. I know, right? So I'm going to give you a few minutes to get on in here, and I want to make sure I can look at your questions, your comments as you are dropping them down below. You can go ahead and share this to your page, invite some other people to talk time with Angela. We can engage together. Of course, we are focusing on building women leaders. That's what this really is all about. Today's agenda, again, top 10 qualities decision makers consider when choosing a project manager. Let me just say, spoiler alert, we're all managing something. It might be like some huge project. It could be some teeny tiny thing, right? Something that you don't believe really impacts the overall organization or your family or, the community you serve. But it does. It all adds up. And so today, first, let me just start off and just share a few things about myself before I just dive in and start talking, right? So I'm a retired Army colonel, served 26 plus years honorably in the greatest Army on the planet. Started out as a private Odom in 1985 at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Went on to be a homecoming queen at the University of Southern Mississippi. Graduated, was commissioned a second lieutenant in the Army, and I was fortunate enough to serve in 3 separate combat environments. Saudi Arabia, Operation Desert Shield as a Storm, and then after the Twin Towers were hit in the Pentagon, I deployed as an individual augmentee in 2003 and served with CENTCOM, U.S. Central Command, there in Tampa. That was okay. First I was in Qatar, some people call it Qatar, in the Middle East, and then came back to Tampa. And then my final deployment was to Fort Hood and then on to Baghdad, Iraq. I was fortunate enough to serve as a battalion commander with the Broncos. That's what we called ourselves. So that was a 15th Personnel Services Battalion. And then I went ahead and retired. So I wanted to just bring you up to speed. So we have so many reasons why we do things, right? And so I retired because I'm Ryan's mom. It's as simple as that. What I'd like for you to just share, just go ahead and share your comments below if you are a military veteran or if you know some military veterans. We're not necessarily going to talk just to military veterans, but, I just love them. So for now, after I retired, I founded and also became the CEO of the Better You Project for Women Leaders. I'm the creator of the Learn Achievement Model and also a certified personal development coach and author of Bronco Strong, a memoir of the last deployed personnel services battalion. And it's available on Amazon right now. So we're going to go ahead and focus on the topic of today. And this is Talk Time with Angela. Every Tuesday at noon, we'll gather and we'll talk about mostly leadership development topics. So today's topic, I'm pretty excited about this. It is the top 10 qualities decision makers consider when choosing a project manager. Spoiler alert. We're managing things. We're managing small and large projects all the time. So you want to ask yourself, who are these decision makers, right? And so we're looking at people who are really saying yes and no to you. They're at work, they're in your social settings, they're in nonprofit organizations, they're in the military, they're in your home and your family, right? There's a structure there in your family. At your church, it might be a certain ministry. Could be a community service organization or sorority or fraternity. Could be just casual friends. So these decision makers are all around us. So I want to make sure that we are not talking past one another. So then you say, well, what's a project manager? Well, essentially, this person, the project manager, is accountable for the success or the failure of the project. And that project really, could be anything. It could be, if it's my son, his project is getting the leaves out of the yard, right? So this project could be huge on your job. It basically you're doing planning, execution, and you're closing the projects. You're managing the teams and you're managing expectations. Really, we're looking for a project manager to deliver on the results. So share in the comments below if you've ever led a project. If you have, I'm not sure, it may have been like a project that lasted for a few hours, a few days, a few weeks, a few months, a few years. So it depends on the complexity of the project. They're all individual. There's not like one size fit all, right? And so we're talking about the qualities that the decision makers consider when choosing you as a project manager. And so the word quality is defined as, how good or bad something is. It's a characteristic or feature that someone or something has. It could be something that can be noticed as a part of a person or a thing. And then, of course, we're talking about the quality of something. We're talking about the high level of value or excellence, right? So we're talking about qualities. And in this particular case, we're talking about the characteristics or feature that you might have or you might possess. Someone might see something in you. And so that's what we're focused on, right? So really quickly, the 10 qualities, and then we'll go into them individually, are shared organization vision. Gotta be able to see it. And then dependability, verbal and nonverbal communication skills, competency, integrity and accountability, critical thinking, problem solving, and argumentative skills, leadership style, conflict resolution, time management and organizational skills, and then delegation skills. So 1 through 10, not necessarily in a particular order, but the very first thing is, do you have the vision? Can you see this thing through, right? That's what we'll go through really quickly. So that shared organizational vision. And really, what are we talking about? I mean, really, what are we talking about with vision? Shared organizational vision. So I'm Angela Oderman. I've worked in so many different organizations, led teams, small ones and large ones, in very mild environments, no particular stress per day, right? And then in some very stressful environments. So you need to have a vision. We're talking about the future. You're standing here, but you're able to see the future. You're able to envision success. You understand the goals that you need to accomplish along the way, the milestones. You're looking at growth and innovation and creativity. You want someone who can actually gravitate and understand the organization's overall vision and goals, and to be able to lead the team to achieve those goals, right? And then number 2 is dependability. Come on now. We want somebody who is dependable. We want somebody who is trustworthy. We want somebody who, they say they're going to do this, then that's what they do. And if they're not able to, they're going to come back to you, right? And then they're trustworthy. That's a lot. That's a lot to be able to trust what someone say. Because most of the time, myself, I'm not listening to what you're saying. I'm watching what you're doing. And so I want you to be dependable. And that's the second quality that the decision makers are looking at you based on what you're doing to determine if they should even consider you for that project. And so I want you to type below, just share your comments below. Are you dependable? And that could be based on whether you are accountable to yourself, right? Whether you, come on, if you're just saying stuff to people and not following through or not following up, or if they're saying, hey, I thought you were coming by. That means you're not dependable. Hello? And then quality number 3 is effective verbal and nonverbal communication skills. Not just talking, right? But listening, being able to understand the language or the culture of that organization, having the ability to have empathy, right? And so effective verbal and communication skills is very important in a project manager, someone who is able to convey the message verbally, non-verbally, and understand. Might say, you go there. That could be non-verbal. Or just a smile, or like come up to you and, hey, good job. Don't be touching me. Right? So that's pretty cool. And then quality number 4 is competency. Do you possess the skills, the knowledge, the abilities, and really the attitudes and the behavior that's necessary to complete this particular mission, this task, to be able to bring this team together? So are you competent? What level of skill do you need and do you possess to complete this mission? Right? And sometimes I've worked in several positions where my team members had more, I should say, a greater level of expertise in a particular skill than I did. But I'm still leading the team to the finish line, right? So you don't have to know everything. You just need to know how to get things done, right? So you want to have a diverse team. You want to be able to recognize who's on your team, as far as competency is concerned. You might not possess a particular competency, but that person on your team might be able to, and then you can bring it all together, right? The quality number 5, integrity and accountability. Oh, man, is that just, do I just need to say this? Really, do I need to say it? Do I need to say this? Okay, yes. So that would be, morals and principles. You gotta have, a set of values, core values. And what we want is that the values that you possess, right, to be aligned with the organization in which you serve. What does what does the organization believe to be important? And, you are able to support yourself and, be submissive in that whole framework. Have integrity to say, what you can and cannot do. So that's quality number 5. And so I want you to just share the comments below. Do you accept responsibility for your actions? Type yes or no. I don't think anybody's going to type no, but I'll just put that out there. Accept responsibility for your actions. That's huge as far as being accountable. And that's whether you get the project or not. Quality number 6 is critical thinking, problem solving, and argumentative skills. And, we're talking critical thinking. And sometimes people use those 3 terms interchangeably. But critical thinking really enables us to actively engage with information that we're presented with. You might have information and you just take it in and accept it. But no, you want to actually think deeply about it, the information. And what this allows us to do or empowers us to do is to analyze, to critique, to apply knowledge, as well as to create new ideas. And so you want to have someone who is a critical thinker and someone who's actually going to solve some problems, because things are going to happen. Everything's not going to just be from A to B, A to Z just straight. Things are going to come up. Maybe resources may not arrive on time. So what are you going to do? Or, people might show up early or late or, so you want to make sure you are able to problem solve, and you want to be able to break down big issues into small chunks so that your team can handle that along the way, right? So you want to be able to be a critical thinker. And so quality number 7 is my favorite. It's your leadership style. Really, we're talking about your engagement with people and the efficiency in which you do that. And so if you look at leadership styles, most people say, well, autocratic, democratic, laissez-faire, those things. No. What I want you to just consider is if you had on one end the authority of the leader, right? And then you had on this end right here, you had the autonomy of the team, right? Kind of do it this way? Is that a bit better that way, right? So you have like authority of the leader, and you have the autonomy of the team. And so along this, these two axes, the lines, you want to look and see whether or not you as a leader, if you're controlling, directing, and advising, that means that you're spending a lot of time with with the team members, right? And let's just be clear, controlling, directing, and advising is neither good nor bad. It is whether it is effective. And it is based on the experience of the individuals, the expertise of of the people and yours, right? And whether or not you trust them and trust yourself, right? You might, where you are being more self-aware as a leader, right? And then all the other things you have to do. So if you are controlling, directing, advising, that's like that's a lot of your time as a leader. And your team really doesn't have any autonomy because you're telling them what to do, right? And then you go over to coordinating, guiding, and collaborating. So if you're coordinating with your team members, you're giving them more opportunity to actually produce the results with you, right? To shape this project with you. You're guiding them and collaborating with them. And so that's based again on the experience that the team members might have, and you, the trust, right? And so many other factors. And then you go over to delegating, empowering, and participating. So if you're delegating, that means that you're saying, okay, it's not your time that you're using. You're allowing your team members to use their time, their abilities, their skills to get that particular task done. And so really, this right here is fascinating to me. I love watching people as they lead others and lead themselves. What style do they use? And so you want to consider the decision maker is looking at how you use your time, how you engage with others, the relationships you're building, and really the results in all of this. And sometimes you might not have a lot of time. And if you don't have a lot of time to complete a mission, and you don't have, and your team members don't have the expertise, then guess what? You're directing, you're advising, you're controlling, right? Unless you get that. Does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense, right? So what's your go-to leadership style? On that whole spectrum. Are you you're in an environment now where you work and you collaborate? You delegate, or are you more, directive? And again, neither is bad or good. It is whether or not it is effective. And I want to just step back for a second. Myself as a leader, I believe my role is to make more leaders, not more followers. I want to help people to advance to whatever level they have determined they want to go. I don't need them to just do as I say. That's just me, right? Because guess what? Once the other team members become critical thinkers, whoa, you got yourself something there. Once they want to be involved and provide feedback, woo, you got yourself something there. You're going to have a fabulous project, right? And so with that, let's just step right back into the next quality. Quality number 8 is conflict resolution. And so if you have people, you're going to have conflict. Now, that doesn't mean that, things are like, some powder keg. It just means that we're not always going to see eye to eye. We're not always going to embrace the vision of the leader. We're not always going to come with our best self, right? So there's going to be some conflict, and really all we want is to understand the organizational goals, the vision, and we want to be able to seek results. And so within that, we got to resolve some conflicts to get things done. So warming up, be able to have a conversation with people and be able to resolve issues. Sometimes you might just want to listen to people. They might be tired of you directing them in everything. Come on now. So the question I have for you at this point is, do you handle conflict effectively, type yes or no in the comments below. And quality number 9 is time management and organizational skills. We just got one more after this. So organizational skills. So really, you're not organizing yourself. You're managing institutions. You're managing assignments. You know, you are, and when people say time management, really that means you're managing your life, right? And just think that, like, if you don't have it on your calendar and you're like saying yes to everything, that's a problem. So you want to make sure that you actually are able to place your priorities, live your life around your priorities, and then you want to organize. You want to organize events and activities so that your team can actually function better. Right, it's a better environment. And then number 10 is delegation skills. And, you know, there's like 6 levels of delegation. There's probably more, but from my point of view, there's like 6. So you could go from the scale of do as I say. Yep. You can say, look into that. You could say, give me your advice and then I'll decide. You could also say, let's see, explore, decide, and then check with me. Explore it, you decide, and, you know, just keep me in the loop, check with me, right? And then 5 would be like explore and decide within these limits. Do whatever you need to do. This is your left and right boundary, all right? And then my favorite is take care of this for me. Handle your business, right? I'm depending on you. I know you got it. You got this. Handle it. Come back. Handle it. It's done, right? So those are like the 6 levels of delegation. And that, of course, is based on your circumstances, the people you have, if they're dependable, you know, what their talent is, skills, knowledge, abilities, trustworthiness, right? All those things. So, but you understand what I'm saying, right? So we have, we come to the point where we're almost finished. And I just want to ask, you know, do you, with Angela, we've definitely gone over 10 that, and these are not all, these are just some, you know, I sat down and I thought about this, and I'm just sharing it with you. So the number 1, you know, shared organizational vision, dependability, verbal and nonverbal communication skills, competency, integrity and accountability, critical thinking, problem solving, and argumentative skills, leadership style, my favorite, conflict resolution, time management, and organizational skills, and the last one, delegation skills. That was a mouthful. So I want to, you know, if you have other qualities that you think should be considered, you know, decision makers should be considered, just enter those, you know, just put them in the comments below, and I'll be sure to follow up with you. At this time, I want to invite you to join like-minded gold-digging women leaders. So what's a gold digger? Someone goals, G-O-A-L-S. First and foremost, we're goals friends, and we're digging for our goals. We're getting knocking things out, right? And so I want to just invite you to join like-minded gold-digging women leaders inside of our online Better You community. And you can go to angelaodom.com, go up to the top of the page up there, and you can join our Better You community. This is where our goals friends, we're focusing on achieving success in our careers, our health, our finances, and in our leadership abilities. So this has been such a treat for me. So I'm Angela Odom, and this is Talk Time with Angela, and this is all about the Better You Project. I will see you next Tuesday at noon. That was good. Take care. Oh, by the way, I'm rooting for you.